Good evening. I'm Korina Sanchez-Roxas, sitting in for Miss Pinky Webb. Tonight, we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, and we clarify matters. We get on point. Just as a matter of correction, before we go on with our guest, our esteemed guest, and our subject matter for tonight, Congressman Leandro Leviste was actually, in fact, able to take the stand, and he was able to speak. And he did talk about his Cabral files, which he said he is not in any special position to verify as authentic because he is not from the DPWH. Essentially, this is all that, this is the main point that Congressman Leandro Leviste imparted in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing a while ago. Okay, now, two major political developments in one day. We're here right now at the Senate as the Blue Ribbon Committee resumed its probe into the flood control scandal. Several personalities attended today's hearing, including former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan and Congressman Leandro Leviste. Our correspondent Hannah T joins us now, also from the Senate, for an update on the investigation. What's the latest, Hannah?
Korina, right in the middle of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, the Sandigan Bayan issued a warrant of arrest against former Senator Bong Revilla and 6 former DPWH officials. When the committee learned about this warrant of arrest, they sought clarification that they have to wait for the official hard copy of the arrest warrant before deciding whether to turn over these former DPWH officials that are under Senate custody. At yan, sina dating DPWH engineers Bryce Hernandez and JP Mendoza na contempt or na-issuehan nga ng warrant of arrest dito sa Senado right in the middle of a Blue Ribbon probe last year because of allegedly hindi pagsunod sa komite. At along with Revilla, Hernandez and JP Mendoza are facing a complaint of malversation of public funds because of a project, a ₱1 million ghost flood control project in Pandi, Bulacan. If we can recall, it was former DPWH Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo who first tagged former Senator Bong Revilla in the flood control scandal because allegedly he said that it was Bernardo himself who delivered cash in the residence of former Senator Bong Revilla before in his residence in Bacoor City, Cavite. At ito namang involvement ni Hernandez and JP Mendoza ay ang pag-amin sa mismong Blue Ribbon probe last year na sila ay sangkot sa kickback scheme gamit ang lisensya ng isang firm na tinatawag na Sims Construction na pinahihiram sa mga dating DPWH official. And we must note that this complaint is actually non-bailable. At meanwhile, nag-wrap up na nga itong Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing ngayong araw. At pending naman yung paglipat ng kustudiya kay former DPWH engineer Henry Alcantara mula dito sa Senado pa DOJ matapos nga makapasok o ma-admit sa Witness Protection Program dahil kanina in-announce din na pinayagan na ng Senado ito ngang paglipat, pero sabi ni DOJ Prosecutor General Richard Fadulion, they've yet to fix itong mga dokumentong kailangan bago ang pag-turn over ni Alcantara pa DOJ. At Siyempre, nandun din kasi yung ibang flood control figures na currently ay detained dito sa Senado at sinabihang mag-isip-isip at kung sakaling gusto nang makipag-coordinate or makipagtulungan sa investigasyon, posible rin daw silang ma-admit sa Witness Protection Program. And other highlights on today's Blue Ribbon probe ay yung pag-issue ng show cause order nga against former Congressman Zaldico and witness Orly Guteza for failing to attend today's Blue Ribbon probe. At sabi ni Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chair Panfilo Lacson, they have 2 days to respond dun sa show cause order before the Senate will take action. At hindi lang sila yung nahainan ng show cause order, nandyan din yung ibang mga natag sa flood control scandal kasama sina Co-Commissioner Mario Lipana, mga dating aide ni Ko na sina Mark Texay at John Paul Estrada na di umano'y bahagi rin nitong cash deliveries na naisiwalat sa flood control scandal. Nung natapos yung hearing kanina, Korina, we tried to seek comment from former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan tungkol sa involvement or closeness nila ni late DPWH Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral. At no comment muna siya pagdating dun sa kung kailan ba sila huling nagkausap at kung how he feels nung etong ngang si Cabral ay pumanaw na. Korina.
Hana, parang downplayed ang tungkol sa Cabral files, no? Na sinasabing tangan ni Congressman Leandro Leviste at meron din tayong sarili nating leak at meron din kopya si Secretary Vince Dizon. Ano lang ba talaga ang pinakabuod o pinakamalaking development tungkol sa Cabral files at ang mga pangalan na nakasulat doon?
Generally, Korina, Cabral Files is being considered as a very relevant document from the DPWH following Cabral's death because it allegedly contains names of proponents or yung mga principal kung tawagin sa Blue Ribbon probe before na ito daw ay mga kongresista, mga senador, hindi lang actually from the legislative but also the executive na before then ay na-mention na rin ni Lacson sa kanyang mga dating press release at nakasaad kasi doon yung detailed information about the DPWH infra projects ng 2025 na di umano ay meron ng wish list itong mga flood control or itong mga figure na ito na nasa dokumento at pagdating pa lang sa NEP or sa proposed national budget nitong nakaraang taon. At kailangan kasi yan i-cross-check, Korina, sa mismong GAA, which is yung final budget version, and of course, sa mismong DPWH Transparency Portal kung saan pwede nang makumpirma doon kung existing ba yung proyekto o hindi, tumaas ba yung price ng DPWH project na yun, is it completed, mga ganon. So, base sa ating mga naging report before, no, doon nga sa DPWH leaks file, which is another file that we obtained on our part dito sa BNC. Ganun yung naging pamamaraan ng pagtukoy ng mga proyekto ng nakalista sa DPWH leaks file. At kanina doon sa hearing, Korina, may dala kasi si Leviste na kopya daw niya at pinakita ito sa mga senador at hinarang, nagmistulang hinarang ito ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta na hindi raw siya authorized to verify the DPWH file because Leviste is not part of the agency, but also sabi ni Leviste since tila wala naman daw pumipigil sa kanya ay mukhang anytime soon ay i-release niya ang sarili niyang kopya.
Pinakabuod ng mga nangyari kanina sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Thank you very much, Hannah T, reporting live from the Senate. While senators look further into the corruption issue, an impeachment complaint was filed against President Bongbong Marcos at the House of Representatives. What do these developments mean for accountability? Let's get on point with retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio joining us via Zoom. Thank you very much, Justice Carpio, for your time for us tonight.
Good evening, Korina. Good evening to our viewers.
Hello, sir. Were you able to follow the entirety of the resumption of the investigations today here at the Senate?
I was not able to watch the live streaming, but I listened to the radio reports.
So, is there anything that surprised you? Are you underwhelmed, overwhelmed? Are you impressed with what was brought to light in today's session?
Well, because criminal cases are already being filed, of course, the people involved uh, will not be talking about it anymore. That's why you can you come across general denials already.
And these blanket denials, you think, are a legal resort, and that all of these
Well, they're all playing
accused
safe
or
because they will be brought to court already, so they will not be talking about it.
so, Justice, your prediction is that they will be playing that game because they will be going to court anyway, and we cannot really expect much from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee investigation. I think there's going to be another one coming up.
Yes, for those who will be charged, they will not be talking about it. But for the witnesses, they can tell their story. You know? But those who will be the subject of charges, they will of course keep quiet.
So, talking about witnesses, Justice Carpio, a few of them came out and accused certain personalities also in the session hall, but their faces were covered with masks and a hoodie. I was just wondering about the debate a while ago whether an accused should have the right to face his accusers. In this case, I know that applies to a court case or litigation, but in a political exercise such as this one, is that required also?
Well, it's up to the investigating committee because that is a legislative inquiry. I understand that later on the faces of those witnesses will be shown. So we'll just have to see what they'll do next time.
Okay. While the accused are all crying trial by publicity because there's no counter confirmation or denial about these people. But anyway, regarding the Department of Justice probe, 4 people now are under the are considered state witnesses. Just for our education, Justice Carpio, what are the benefits of being a state witness as against someone put under the witness protection program?
Well, a state witness, if he complies with his undertaking as a state witness, he will be released from criminal liability and he will be exempt from any forfeiture. That is why the tact of the policy of DOJ and the Ombudsman will be to ask for restitution from them before the agreement is signed. That's why you will see, for example, Yusek Bernardo returning the money or committing to return a certain amount. Because the moment you become a state witness and you comply with your undertaking to testify, the result is that you are not only released from criminal liability, but you are also exempt from being subjected to forfeiture. In other words,
I see.
the government will not take anything from you anymore. That's why the important thing there is in the agreement with the state witness, he will commit how much he will return.
So, sir, what about all the millions that they already surrendered to government? Will that be reimbursed to them? Will that be given back to them?
That is part of their restitution. Because if you are a state witness, you have to return, of course, the money because you cannot profit from your wrongdoing. And that's why you will not be accepted as a state witness if you don't agree to restitute.
Okay. So we are talking about DPWH USEC Roberto Bernardo, ex-DPWH Bulacan District Engineer Henry Alcantara, DPWH Engineer Gerard Opulencia, and contractor Sally Santos, who are all now state witnesses. Do you believe that contractors are the least guilty in this line of accountability, being private businesses as against the accountability of people who are supposed to serve the people by having these government positions or are otherwise elected into power?
Well, it depends. For example, the one who's been granted status of a state witness in this case, she was just leasing her license, I think. She was not actually doing the construction work. So she's not, I think, not considered the most guilty. So she was accepted.
So I guess it all depends again on the assessment of the investigating body.
Yes, it depends on the facts. But in the case of the Vizcayas, I think they are at the center of this web of corruption. So it will be very difficult for them to be admitted as state witness because it looks like they are the most guilty.
Okay, so at this point we'll take a short break. Stay tuned. We have Justice Antonio Carpio here on Point. We will return. Welcome back. Still with us, retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio. Let's now talk about the impeachment complaint filed against PBBM. What do you think about that? Is it timely? Is it called for? Will it prosper?
Well, what I've seen are the general allegations, like, for example, that the president received the funds from the flood control project. But we don't know what is the evidence to support that. So it's difficult to assess whether it's strong or not because the strength of the charges would depend on the kind of evidence to support those allegations. So we don't know what kind of evidence they will present.
So, sir, what would the process be? What if the Makabayan bloc, for example, also files an impeachment complaint, and then added to this, may bago na naman pong impeachment complaint to be resurrected against Vice President Sara Duterte?
Well, because for Sara Duterte, VP Sara Duterte, there's the one-year ban under the decision of the Supreme Court, and that ban will expire February 6. So they cannot file it now. They'll have to file it after February 6, no? And for the president, there's no ban, so it can be filed anytime. And that's why they filed it today.
But what is the scenario, sir? In case magsabay-sabay po ang pag-file ng mga impeachment complaints?
Well, yes, the impeachment complaints can be filed at the same time, but this will be separate. Now, for the president, it will be a separate case, and they will proceed separately. I mean, they will not be taken up at the same time as one case, no, because these are separate impeachment cases, and the problem there is the Supreme Court has stated that there must be a hearing at the plenary level. That was their decision in the Duterte versus House of Representatives. And so there will be a hearing. If they follow the Supreme Court decision, there will be a hearing at the plenary level.
Okay, and as the impeachment cases prosper, they will continue to be dispensing their duties. They still will be holding office.
Yes, until there is a decision by the Senate, they will be functioning. They will be performing their functions.
Okay, just as a matter of information, the complainant for the impeachment against PBBM is from Attorney Andre De Jesus, and he filed an impeachment complaint against the president over alleged graft and corruption, culpable violation of the Constitution, and betrayal of public trust. All right, let's talk about the ICI. The president says that the ICI's existence depends on how much more work they have in front of them. Do you think that after the resignations of most of its members, it's about time that the ICI be dissolved?
Yes, my position is that the ICI should turn over their investigations, whatever investigations they have completed. They must turn this over now to the Ombudsman because uh, the, uh, the ICI was created when there was a vacancy in the Ombudsman. We had no Ombudsman and people were not happy with what was going on at the time. But we have an Ombudsman now who seems to be very diligent in what he's doing. So it should be turned over now to the Ombudsman because the Ombudsman really has all the powers, while the ICI is just
Yes.
really an administrative body. They cannot even cite anyone for contempt. They cannot issue a warrant of arrest. So let the Office of the Ombudsman do its job now.
Right, right. So what you're actually saying is that they don't have too much power anyway to make this go forward, so might as well give it to the actual body supposedly with this mandate, and which is the Ombudsman. So are you, yes sir.
That's correct, and that's correct because even one of the commissioners said that they lack personnel. They're not being supported. That's the complaint of Babe Singson. And besides, two of them have resigned, and there's only one, the chair. Only the chair is left. So I don't think the chair alone can function. No? So they might as well turn over everything to the Office of the Ombudsman.
Okay, so things are happening very fast, Justice Carpio. So once a villain became a hero, became a villain again. Okay, talking about Congressman Leandro Leviste and his supposed ownership of Solar Philippines, but he is now a lawmaker. Do you see a cobweb there? Do you see a conflict of interest?
Well, he acquired his franchise when he was still in the private sector, and I don't know whether he divested when he became congressman, but he's saying now that the company has ceased to operate 4 years ago. So we still don't know the actual facts, and there's a provision there in that franchise that the franchise becomes invalid the moment he transfers ownership. So we really don't know the facts yet. But he has said that the Solar Philippines has ceased to operate 4 years ago.
But then arrears or indebtedness to government or deliverables are now inherited by the buyers?
No, I think the Meralco Group bought another company. They did not buy the company that has the franchise. And of course, Congressman Leviste entered into a contract or has contracts with the DOE, and those contracts contain penalties for non-performance, and he has to answer for those violations of the contracts. No? Whether I think he had other companies that entered into these contracts.
Okay, so it's a moving target really. So we are going to be looking at the developments on the side of Leandro Leviste, the congressman, and of course the Department of Energy. So in closing, Justice Carpio, are you getting impatient about this whole process? Do you think that the president is right when he says we better, if you want it fast, it's either you want it fast or you want it right? Or can it be both fast and right?
Well, the ideal is that the proceeding should be expedited, but of course you have to observe due process. That's why when the Ombudsman said that there will be warrants of arrest by December, by Christmas time, Well, it doesn't happen that way. No, it takes time because the judges, the justices will have to examine the document, the complaints. So, but of course, we received the news today that the Sandigan has issued already a warrant of arrest against former Senator Revilla. So it's moving, and we're still in January. So that's fast enough.
Okay, retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, thank you very much for your time for us tonight.
Thank you, Korina. Thank you to our viewers.
And that's On Point. Join us again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Korina Sanchez-Roxas for Miss Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.